In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Peace and blessings be upon the Prophet Muhammad. Peace be upon you, my dear African brothers. This message comes from my home in Malika Plag. I am Sheikh Mohammed Fall Mourid. The purpose of this message concerns our relations with Morocco. When I speak of our relations with Morocco, I am referring to the ties between Senegal and Morocco. These are long-standing, beautiful, and historic relations. We should not allow the Africa Cup of Nations to interfere with this relationship, to the point that some Senegalese feel uneasy in Morocco. Here in my country, I know that Senegal is a land of teranga, hospitality. There are Moroccans living here who have adopted Senegalese customs and have become more Senegalese than some of us through their exemplary behavior, discretion, kindness, and love for this country. During the Africa Cup of Nations final, some Moroccans even wore the colors of the Senegalese flag, green, yellow, red, to show their support for their Senegalese brothers who remained in Morocco. When we see this, it shows us that football is just a sport. It's about fair play. It's nothing more than a game. Therefore, we must be careful. The referee, Jean-Jacques Ndalangambo, should not be a source of controversy among us. He too is only human, and sometimes situations are orchestrated in ways that many don't understand.
Kon ñun war nañu mën a bàyyi xel ni ki nga xam ni mooy arbitre bi di Jean-Jacques waruñu indil ay polémique ci suñu biir te moom tamit nekk na nit koo xam ni dañ ko orchestré rek pour muy defee noo xam ni ñu bari am nañu ko ci.
If we look at the game, we see that it was of high quality. However, in the 92nd minute, the game almost ended with a goal for Senegal, a perfectly valid goal. Support for Pope Theo. A huge congratulations to Pape Thiaw. It was precisely at this critical moment that he could have changed the course of the game. Nevertheless, CAF and FIFA are to be commended for the confidence they have shown in him by keeping him in his position. National identity and player performance. Let's never forget that we are the Lions of Teranga. These young players have shown that they are real lions. The spirit and determination of the Lions must always be manifested on the field. Had Pape Thiaw not acted in this way, the injustice would have persisted, and the African Cup would probably have stayed in Morocco, which is not acceptable. Relations between Senegal and Morocco. I am convinced that our prayers for Morocco are answered. But that does not mean that they are superior to us. We share a deep mutual respect with Morocco. In Tivaouane, for example, we feel like we are in Morocco. Spiritual ties are strong, especially through the figure of Sheikh Ahmed Tidiane Sharif, buried in Morocco, where many Senegalese go on pilgrimage. Call for protection from Pope Thiaw. Football must not alter this brotherhood. I make a solemn appeal to the President of the Republic and Augustin Senghor, President of the Senegalese Football Federation. I pray to you in the name of Allah and His Prophet to protect Pope Thiaw by all possible means. He is the one who led us to victory in the African Cup, and I am convinced that he can take us to the World Cup.
Dimbali ma lillahi wa rasulihi ngeen protéger Pape Thiaw ak nu ko mën a protéger Pape Thiaw moo ñu indil Coupe d'Afrique te Pape Thiaw mi mën nañu indil Coupe du Monde may del du ñaan nag ñi nga xam ni ñoom ñooy les.
If we look at the game, we see that it was of high quality. However, in the 92nd minute, the game almost ended with a goal for Senegal, a perfectly valid goal. Support for Pope Theo. A huge congratulations to Pape Thiaw. It was precisely at this critical moment that he could have changed the course of the game. Nevertheless, CAF and FIFA are to be commended for the confidence they have shown in him by keeping him in his position. National identity and player performance. Let's never forget that we are the Lions of Teranga. These young players have shown that they are real lions. The spirit and determination of the Lions must always be manifested on the field. Had Pape Thiaw not acted in this way, the injustice would have persisted, and the African Cup would probably have stayed in Morocco, which is not acceptable. Relations between Senegal and Morocco. I am convinced that our prayers for Morocco are answered. But that does not mean that they are superior to us. We share a deep mutual respect with Morocco. In Tivaouane, for example, we feel like we are in Morocco. Spiritual ties are strong, especially through the figure of Sheikh Ahmed Tidiane Sharif, buried in Morocco, where many Senegalese go on pilgrimage. Call for protection from Pope Thiaw. Football must not alter this brotherhood. I make a solemn appeal to the President of the Republic and Augustin Senghor, President of the Senegalese Football Federation. I pray to you in the name of Allah and His Prophet to protect Pope Thiaw by all possible means. He is the one who led us to victory in the African Cup, and I am convinced that he can take us to the World Cup.
Abdoulaye Fall muy sama président fédération maa ngi koy ñaan président Abdoulaye dimbali ma lillahi wa rasuli ngeen protéger Pape Thiaw ak nu ko mën a protéger Pape Thiaw moo ñu indil Coupe d'Afrique te Pape Thiaw mi mën nañu indil Coupe du Monde. may del du ñaan nag ñi nga xam ni ñoom ñooy les.
I would also like to ask the TikTokers and influencers, because what some religious guides, marabouts, say about the fact that the African Cup will not return to Senegal is not on the agenda. What is happening now, and where I want you to help me, is that the influencers kneel before CAF and FIFA just to apologize on behalf of our team, because we are aiming for the World Cup. And I don't want them, the soccer authorities, to ruin the World Cup for us. They know that the Senegalese team is the best team in the world. Nobody can beat the Senegalese team in this world. Take them job by job and compare them to the teams we face. There is no picture. We went to win the African Cup without the top scorer, Sadio Mane. We won the African Cup without the captain of the team, Kalidou Koulibaly. It was the referee who stole us from Morocco. May the Moroccans review their Islam. They have a special look at us. Senegalese, while we are inspired by their Islam, they should go back to the Hadiths to see what Islam says about the one who steals, because they are an Islamic country. Now, regarding what you see about the tong, the harm caused, if we judge it today according to Sharia, what does Sharia say about the one who is wrong? For I cannot judge anything outside of Islam. There is a certain shame that does not deserve to go on forever. As for us, it is God who has already decided.
lan la Islam wax te ñoom pays islamique la léegi nag ci lii ngeen di xool ci tooñeel buñ ko nattee tey ji ci charia lan la charia tëral ci ku tooñ ak parce que mënu ma leen atte dara loolu ci islam am na gàcce goo xam ne jarul lu guddal ñun nag yàlla moo atte.
When you look at them, we Senegalese realize how hard they give their all for the ball. We know that everything comes from Allah. We raise our hands to heaven because we know that God is not with those who are unjust. Whether it is Morocco or another country, God is not on the side of injustice. I see that our national team is not only that of Senegal, but that of all Africa, and even of some countries outside the continent that belong to us. We Senegalese have to realize that Pape Gueye, who scored during this tournament, was the trigger. Imagine this against France in a Senegal-France World Cup match. Remember what El Hadji Diouf and Pape Bouba Diop did against France. This time, we must observe what Sadio Mane must accomplish. We must calm temperaments. Let us pray for our authorities, and let us also pray for the Moroccans. I, my Moroccan friends, invite you on March 13 and 14. I sponsor you because I have made Pope Thiaw, my honorary godfather, so that he invites you to join me in the Grand Theater for the conference on the life of the Prophet Muhammad, PSL. By Pape Thiaw with Moroccans and my loved ones, you will see that Senegal has no animosity towards Morocco. It is the competition that brought us together. We met, we played, and we won.
maa ngi leen di invité le 13 mars ak le 14 ma parrainé leen ko parce que Pape Thiaw dama koy def parrain d'honneur pour Pape Thiaw invité leen yéen ngeen ñëw fekk ma Grand Théâtre ak résidence du prophète Mohammed sallallahu alayhi wa sallam muy conférence bu mag may def ci koor gi ndax su ma ko tuddee Pape Thiaw boole leen ci yéen marocains yi doog cee teg samay nit di ngeen xam ni Sénégal bañul Maroc compétition moo ñëw ñu daje bi ñu dajee football nañu gagné nañu leen.
On March 13th, 2026, please God, we will meet again. These 2 days, March 13th and 14, mark the event that the Nen U2 of the Sheikhs organizes every year. For these dates of the 13th and 14th, we have chosen to wear the symbol of the African cup. It is a way for us to honor and decorate the Moroccan people, to express our gratitude and thanks in order to strengthen our ties and our sincere commitment. Indeed, it was you, Moroccans, who introduced the Tijaniya Brotherhood to Senegal. We recognize and fully accept it. You have set a good example. For our part, we open our hearts to you. We love you even more because the Moroccans who live here are no longer foreigners. They are like Senegalese. I have many Moroccan friends, great people who have become Senegalese by adoption. This event also coincides with the opening of the Museum of the Prophet Muhammad, PSL. It will be a day of Senegalese-Moroccan union. Senegal is a country of faith, but also a secular country where Muslims and Christians live together in harmony. For our brothers in Morocco, if this message gets to you, receive our greetings and prayers. Key points to remember. Event, annual celebration organized by a religious group. Dates, March 13th and 14, 2026. Theme, friendship between Senegal and Morocco, symbolized by the African cup and the common religious heritage, Tijaniya. News, inauguration of a museum dedicated to the Prophet Muhammad, PSL.
pays laïcité la ñu nekkoon foofu di football laïcité lañ doon dund ay musulmans comme chrétiens yeneen kii ngi ci mais du feeñ ci seen biir yéen waa Maroc lii bu egsee ci yéen na ngeen ma baal rek ci yàlla tax ngeen defaraat toogaay yi.
We are now in the age of technology. We can't do without it. I saw the authorities who had to give the trophy, like Kalidou Koulibaly. They refused to receive the trophy. You know, they captured it, taken in photo, video. It was not very elegant. And then, it is not a beautiful image for Africa, because we are brothers. We share the same continent. Why not African unity? Let's unite our hearts, our strength. Let's walk hand in hand. What is stopping us from organizing a tournament where the best players in Africa would face the rest of the world? CAF and FIFA alike.rs, stand up and talk about it. We are listening to you. We are listening to you because we never know. I would like to thank all the staff. I also invite you to this event, organized by the women of the Islamic community and their brothers. Ajakari Silabundar is the godmother. Astu Diouf is the godmother. Ndeye Diop is the godmother. Ngone Diop Atumane Kumba Fall. They were chosen under the authority of officials that I cannot name all of here. Before the end of the video, more than 1,000 people have organized this. They are all behind me.
C'est équipe nationale bi di remercier nag staff bi yëpp di la invité waale ci bis bi nga xam ni jigéen ñi nekk ci biir ëttu islamique ñoom ñoo ko organiser ak seeni càmmiñ sax laay wax ay nga xamee Fall bu Ndar nekk fa marraine ay Set Diouf nekk fa marraine Ndeye Diop nekk fa marraine ñi da ñoom Khady Fall ak ñoom Koumba Fall ni leen tànn ci ndigalu ñi nga xam ne yeneen kilifa yi nga xam ni mënuma leen a lim ci biir vidéo ba mu egg dinañ ci egg incha allah ëpp na 1000 personnes ñoo ko fa organiser ñëpp nag nekk sama ginnaaw ma ci def nag Pape Thiaw ci kaw.
I would like to invite Pape Diouf or Pape Thiaw. The name is a bit here depending on the local context. Pope, if you wish. You can invite the President of the Republic and President Ousmane Sonko. But Pope, all of Senegal is at your table. Thank you again for your conviction and determination. Thank you again for where you came from and where you brought us. As they say, the place where you bring us is better than the place where we come from. Pope, may God grant you a long life so that you can see the rest. I come back to this point. Avoid unnecessary criticism, the RV. By God and His Prophet, avoid criticizing all the time. For God's sake, I ask you to stop this. Even for this game, when I told you that the African Cup is coming, I said that if what the Sheikh said did not turn out to be true, I would give 10 million to each Senegalese. How many are we? Calculate how much it would make for the whole population. It is a huge sum. Don't say words you're not sure about. If you want to know things that you are certain of, call me at 77-835-0848. I will give you secrets that I hold. Speaker. Well, Dad, now we're going to talk about the Morocco-Senegal final. But the most important thing, what I saw in my dream but haven't told you about yet, is the penalty. The other person. Ugh, so that's a bonus. Speaker. Yes, a bonus. That's good because I've already talked about the 3 goals of Pape Gueye and Pape Matar Sarr. That penalty was a humiliation. It was shot in the Panenka style. The Panenka is what a player does when he wants to humiliate the goalkeeper or the opposing team. Zidane has done that before, and many other players too. They pretend to shoot hard. Then they wait for the goalie to dive in to make a little ladle. A ball that rises slowly and ends up in the net when the goalie is already on the ground. That's exactly what they were planning to do to our goalie. May Allah preserve us from that. I think this bonus was necessary. With that, rest assured, and may Allah's mercy be with you.